And the purpose of this examination is your promotion. So if you have already noticed the previous question and the pattern of English questions, you could have noticed that almost all grammatical areas have been covered in the examination. Not directly, almost all the questions are asked in indirect mode. In your school and college classes, you must have learned almost all the grammatical areas that were previously asked in this examination. For instance, the most common grammatical areas that we learn during the study of any language are one, the tense and the active and passive voices and the reported speech, that means direct and indirect speech, then prepositions, conjunctions, articles. That means almost all areas of grammar. But when we consider all these areas of grammar, for a questioner to set a question, it is rather difficult to cover all the areas in an examination. Therefore, it is visible, obvious that in the previous year's question papers, the last year, a few areas have been covered. And the year before that, there were questions from other areas. Anyhow, so taking a survey of a few years question papers, previous question papers, it is very clear that the English grammar has been comprehensively covered. So it is rather difficult to cover all these areas from the very basic level. So let us make a survey and explanation of the previously asked questions and the necessary briefing on that particular part. As a beginning, let me introduce previous year questions, model of previous year questions. As you can see on the screen slide, see previous year questions. Two questions have been taken from the vocabulary area. This is just an introduction. We will go deep into the thing. So each of the following questions, here we have taken only 1 and 2, consists of one capitalized word followed by 4 words. That means, for instance, philanthropy is the first entry here, philanthropy, and there are 4 options. Most similar in meaning. That means synonymous with philanthropy. Synonymous. See, we are not discussing on these things. Here, you can possibly make a wild guess of the meaning, that is generosity, perversity, floundering, and hatred. Perversity, floundering, and hatred belong to the same category if there are a few differences. Anyhow, the only sound that stands apart from the previous perversity, floundering, and hatred is generosity. So the most similar meaning is generosity. Secondly, you can see inscrutable. So if you can guess, this word comes from scrutiny, scrutinize. So it is guessable. Inscrutable means mysterious. You cannot scrutinize it. This is just the beginning. Then here we have exploit. So this is opposite, most opposite in meaning, not synonym, antonym. So exploit, utilize, support, neglect, alert. We know the only sound that stands apart from the similar meanings of utilize, support, and alert. The only word is neglect. Neglect is the opposite of exploit. Then we have condemn. See, condemn, censure, approve, recommend, praise. See, approve, recommend, and praise share almost the same meaning, if not exactly equivalent, but they share almost the field of meaning, the same field of meaning. So the opposite, censure, approve, recommend, praise. So recommend, approve, and praise have the same meaning. So condemn, the opposite of condemn should be to praise. Here, the options given are just the other way around. There is an error in giving the options. The actual opposite of condemn is praise. Censure is equal to condemn. Approve is opposite of condemn. Recommend is also opposite to condemn. Praise is the actual opposite. So that is the answer. This is just an introductory question. We will go deep into each and every area, and we will make clarity of all your doubts. See here, the previous questions 11 to 15 have been taken from previous question paper. See, this is a spot the error type of question. This is a regular question in almost all the competitive examinations in which there is an English part. See, because this covers all the grammatical areas in current use in the English language. Therefore, in our session of teaching, our instruction, we will discuss or we will elaborate on this area more than any other part. See here, have you gone through either of the 3 chapters in this book? In this particular case, we know here 3 chapters in this book. That means there are more than 2 chapters. More than 2 chapters. So when there are more than 2, we don't say either. Instead, we have you gone through any of the 3 chapters in this book? When you have 2 chapters only, we say either of the 2 chapters. When you have more than 2, we say any of the 3 chapters. Then here we have a comprehension passage. This is also a very regular question in all competitive English exams. So we are not going from sentence to sentence in this introductory section because can't you hear me? Am I not audible?
Audible, sir.
Audible, okay. Okay, here the comprehension passage. This is just an introduction. We are not going deep into it because this will be discussed later. See, again, the author's habit was to, so this is a question based on the passage. Now we have sentence followed by 4 words, choosing words from the options given. We have not yet fully realized the dash consequences of war. So it is very much guessable and interesting. Realize the consequences is a negative something. So the answer is grim consequences. Grim means frightening consequences of war. Then we have happiness consists in being dash what we have. Contented to, contented with, contented of, contented in. It is contented with what we have. Now let's go to practice questions, which will cover all grammatical areas contextually. Okay, now give your ears unto me, and whenever or if at all you have any sort of doubt, don't hesitate to ask me. You can text me. You need not send the message in your voice. You can send it as text. Okay, let us start. See, another change that I notice in her is that she avoids to speak to me. This is for the error type of question. And I also mentioned and highlighted the importance of this for the error type of question, because it is this kind of question that covers all grammatical areas. So when we have done with this kind of question, I mean, there are many questions here. The end will be satisfactory because we will have gone through all the grammatical areas. So here another change that I notice in her is that another change that I notice in her is that she avoids speak to me. So do you know which part contains mistake? Anybody? C. Yes, C is the answer, correct. Kishore said it correctly. C is the answer, C. Okay, C is the correct answer. C, to speak is the area. In fact, avoid the verb, avoid. See, avoid is always followed by ing form of the verb. Another change that I notice in her is that she avoids speaking to me is the correct answer. Avoid speaking. Okay, that is the answer. Then the next question, there is a renewed sense of urgency in completing the project. There is a renewed sense of urgency in completing the project. Does anyone know the answer? Can you mention the segment which contains mistake? Srini Ranganayaki says it is the segment first. There is a renewed sense of urgency in completing the project. You have said it correctly, and it should be corrected as there is a renewed sense. There is a renewed sense of urgency. That means there is the need of an A here. A. There is a renewed sense of urgency in completing the project. There is a renewed sense. Okay, that's right. Then we have each boy was given a toy as a parting gift, which made them happy. Each boy was given a toy as a parting gift, which made them happy. Anybody knows the answer? Ranganayaki Kishore says it is part B. Kishore says it is part C. Yes, part C is correct because the sentence should be corrected as each boy was given a toy as a parting gift which made him happy, because it is boy, not them. Each boy was given a toy as a parting gift which made him happy. Here, the point of grammar is to be discussed a bit. Now listen to me. Here you have seen them. See, them is the area, them. Then them should be corrected as him. And the beginning of the sentence, each boy is masculine in gender. It is masculine. And apart from that, each boy is singular. And thus we see each boy was given because it is singular. So a parting gift is given to him as or made him happy. Then one of the state in which there was a severe drought last year is Maharashtra. Which part contains mistake? Kishore says A, Harkumar says C, and Adik Bhyasa says A. Okay, try to answer so that you can assess yourself as such. Kishore states is. Kishore has corrected it. one of these states is the correct usage as one of the states. Because when we mention, yes, Meher Venkatesh also said correctly, Saurabh Mishra, you have gone wrong, because one of the states, see, when you say one of, you should have more than one state. Then only you mention one. When you have more than one state, you can mention one of them. One of them. Thus, it should be one of the states. One of the states in which there was a severe drought last year is Maharashtra. Okay, that's right. Now let's go to the next question. The stock was divided among the two brothers. The stock was divided among the two brothers. Try to answer. B. Okay, two of you have given the answer as divided among. Yes, a past tense must not, A, B, past tense must not both. Okay, let me explain. Here we have the two brothers. We have only two brothers here. So we need to say it as only divided between. Divided between. So Peter has said it correctly. It is divided between. Divided between. When you have more than two, we say divided among. Here there are only two brothers. For instance, you must have in your school classes learned that Jesus Christ was crucified between two thieves. Between two thieves. Okay, so when we have two, and when we want to say the position between the two, the preposition is always between. But when you want to mention a position among a group of people, more than one, people consisting of more than two, we usually say among. But at the same time, I mentioned that there is always a difficult question related to this. For instance, listen to me carefully and try to answer me. India lies between India. See, here the preposition I give is which will you choose? India lies dash Pakistan, China, and Bangladesh. Which will you choose? Between or among? Srini has said it, among. Binu Devasikuti said between. Bharat Kumar said between. Federer says between. Yes. So some of you have answered correctly. It is between. But at the same time, no, among, no, among. There is a reason for you to say it is among, because your teacher, English teacher, must have taught you that when you have more than one, for instance, Pakistan, China, and Bangladesh, there are more than two nouns, more than two entities are here. When you have more than two entities, the preposition is always among, but it is not always like that. Here it is between, because each entity is specifically named Pakistan, China, Bangladesh. So it doesn't matter whether Pakistan, China, Bangladesh, and Myanmar, and no matter what it is. When you specifically mention each name, it is always between. On the other hand, India lies dash some poor countries. Then it is always among, because we don't mention the name of nations. So when you mention the name of entities, each in turn, then the preposition is always between. Then next one, I will try to be on time. But don't worry when I'm late. Which part contains mistake? B. Don't worry when. Almost all of you say it is B, but don't worry when I'm late. Yes, your choice is correct. It should be corrected as don't worry if I am late, not B. Okay, I will try to be on time, but don't worry if I am late, because it suggests a condition, not the time. When always suggests time, but if suggests condition. Federer has it correctly. Then that summer elections were held at many a place without any untoward incident. That summer elections were held at many a place without any untoward incident. Which part contains mistake? A. That summer elections. Kishore says it's A. Peter says many places. Gunda Bhattina Anita says it is B. Meher Venkatesh says it is B. Niba Babu says it is B. Aishwarya Sandip says it is B. Saurabh Mishra says it is B. Okay, let me explain. Kishore K says many a place is singular. Yes, many a place is singular. No doubt, many a place is singular. Now the explanation goes like this. Listen well. In fact, this sentence contains no error. Your choice should be D, no error. And the explanation is that summer elections were no error. Grammatically, it is perfectly right. Held at many a place, it is perfectly all right. Without any untoward incident. And that part also contains no mistake. Then your doubt mostly dwells upon many a place. Somebody has many a places singular. Kishore has asked a question. Many places and many a place both mean the same thing. Both are grammatically correct. Meaning the same. Many a place and many places. When you say A, it is many a place. When you avoid A, you should say many places. In both cases, the sentence is perfectly right. Grammatically, it is okay. So here the choice is no error. And you can expect this kind of question also in your examination. Now, the next one is one should respect religious beliefs of others as much as his own. Which could be the wrong part? See, welcome your answers. One should respect religious beliefs of others as much as his, yes, as Federer says its own. Birup says it is C. Shifam does it B. Pravalika Mampalli C. Shaiba C. Kamal C. Okay, your choice is correct. C is correct answer. But in fact, what is wrong with this sentence? It is not the ons. It is a typing error. And S is unnecessary. It is a typing error. The actual error is as much as, not his own, it is one's own. It is one's own, because one should respect religious beliefs of others as much as one's own. The actual error is one's. Okay, one's own. O-N-E'-S. So one should respect religious beliefs of others as much as one's own. Then owns, the S is unnecessary. That's a typing mistake. Then we have my younger sister is much smarter than me. My younger sister is much smarter than me. Much smarter than me. Option, all of you have answered as C, than me. Yes, it is than me, not than. You said it correctly. No, to me is not correct, Federer. To me, if it is senior or junior, you can say it as to me, senior to me, or junior to me. Okay, senior, junior, superior, inferior are followed by the preposition to. Here, this is comparative degree. So this is comparison. In comparison, we use only than, smarter than me. Next one, the salesman tried to sell me a solar water heater, but I already have one. The salesman tried to sell me a solar water heater, but I already have one. Your option is, I already have one. The salesman tried to think once more. Think once more before answering. The salesman tried to sell me a solar water heater. Yes, the choice, yes, it is B. B is the answer. Because the salesman cannot sell you. The salesman sells articles. If he tries to sell you, you can go to court because he is trying to sell you. So the salesman tried to sell a solar water to me. The part B should be restructured as, the salesman tried to sell a solar water heater to me. If somebody tries to sell another person, it is a criminal activity. One cannot sell a person. It is slave trade. So here it should be corrected as, the salesman tried to sell a solar water to me. That is the correction. Then in Delhi, he suddenly came across many of his friends who had settled there. I expect your answers. In Delhi, he suddenly came across many of his friends who had settled there. So can you increase volume a little bit? Okay. Okay, I will try. Okay, is it okay right now? Is it right now? Okay, my voice? I think my voice, not the answer.
Okay, okay.
Yes, yes. So now let us come to the question again. In Delhi, he suddenly came across many of his friends who had settled there. Somebody has, Pravalika Mampali has said it, who settled there? Who settled there? No, that is wrong, grammatically wrong. I would explain that. Then who had settled there? See here, this sentence contains no error. No error. In Delhi, he suddenly came across many. That is simple past. Many of his friends had already settled before him. Already means even before he met them, they had settled there. So when we compare two past actions, listen, when we compare two past actions, the first occurred action should be mentioned in the past perfect tense. So here, friends who had settled there, they had settled before he met them. So this sentence is absolutely correct. Okay, this sentence is absolutely correct. See, when we say two past actions, let me explain further. Two past actions met here. Met is the simple past form. Then settled. Settled is the second action. Settled. Here, which occurred first, meeting or settling? Settling happened first. So it should be said as had settled. So when we mention two past actions in a complex sentence with the priority of action, the first occurred action should be mentioned in the past perfect. For instance, let me mention another sentence as a classical example. For instance, let us take two incidents. A patient died, but before the patient died, the doctor arrived and the patient died. And I want to mention that before the arrival of the doctor, the patient had died. Two actions took place here. Before the arrival of the doctor, that means doctor came only second to the death of the patient. So the patient had died before the doctor arrived. Doctor came secondly. Now, let's go to the next question. It was suggested by the doctor that the patient should be taken care. Please try to answer. It was suggested. Yes, the answer by the doctor. It was suggested by the doctor that the patient should be taken care. Any other answer? Kishore says it is D, no error. Meher Advik says it is D. Sunil Chakravarti says it is C. Yes, actually, the answer is option C. Option C. This is the correct choice. Erroneous part, wrong part is should be taken care of. A preposition is needed there. A preposition of. Taken care of. To take care of. Patient should be taken care of. Now, all the members of the board are kindly requested to appear in the next meeting. All the members of the board are kindly requested to appear in the next meeting. This is an interesting question. An interesting question, this is. Srini says it is B. Pravalika says it is C. Bharat Kumar says B. Yes, the answer is B. Answer is B, because this kindly is unnecessary. Why? We have said it is requested. No need of kindly, because already it is a request. Kindly is used always in the direct speech, not in the indirect speech. So the sentence should be corrected as all the members of the board are requested to appear in the next meeting. Here, kindly is redundant or superfluous, unnecessary. Then Pakistan's support to the terrorists of India should be universally condemned by all. Again, This is also an intriguing question. Interesting. Please welcome. D. Should condemn. Pravalika Mambali says it is condemned. If you want explanation on that, please feel free to say. The actual answer is condemned by all is wrong. Universally and all are unnecessary. So you should avoid this. This by all should be avoided, because universally means all. Universally, the word clearly means what? Universally means seen everywhere, available everywhere. All also suggests the same thing. Therefore, you should, when you use universally, the all is unnecessary. By all is unnecessary. So avoid this part. By all should be avoided. Now, within an hour's journey, we will approach near Agra. So Shiron has asked a question, that means Pakistan and support to the terrorists of India should be universally condemned by all. That's actually the focus of question is not on of India. It's actually on the questioner has meant by all, because it is a repetition, universally by all. So we need not look for the sensibility of that question. Okay, only grammatical area. So here within an hour's journey, we will approach near Agra. An hour's journey, an hour, Pravalika says an hour, we will approach near Agra. No, an hour is absolutely okay. So Kishore and Bharatkumar says the error goes with part D, sorry, C. No, they say it is D. Actually, this sentence contains mistake. We will approach Agra. Near is unnecessary. When you go near somebody or some place, we say approach. So with approach, near is unnecessary. So that part is wrong. Part, this is wrong. Near Agra is wrong. Now, a moment delay would have proved costly in the situation. A is correct. How can you get it corrected? Pravalika says it is C. No. C is absolutely right. Then your choice A is correct. How can you get it corrected? If at all you know how to get it corrected, please tell me. A moment delay can be corrected as what? A is Gunda Bhattina Anita has said it correctly. A moment of delay. A moment of delay. Or it has an alternative answer. Can anyone of you tell me that? An alternative answer. A moment of delay is correct, but there is another alternative. A moment's delay. A moment's delay. A moment's delay can also be correct answer. There are two alternatives. Then scenes from the film had to be censored before it was released. This is an interesting question. This is an interesting question. The question, the part B contains mistake. Pravalika also says Niba Babu have said it correctly. Your choice is correct, but can you get it corrected? film had to be seen. No, that's wrong. No, have to be is also wrong. See this, what is this word? See the underlined word. Look at the underlined word and try to understand its meaning. Censure. And what's the difference between these two words, censured and censor? No, Srini, censured in the sentence had to be censured means should be rebuked or scolded. Here, this is film. Scenes from a film has to have to be censored. Censor means to cut off, remove. So the word is wrong here in the sentence. The word should be this one, not the other one, not censored. This is wrong. Okay, scenes from the film had to be censored, means cut off. Now, Mr. Pratap, being a good teacher, she's been, sorry, Mrs. Pratap, being a good teacher, she has been selected for the national award. Mrs. Pratap, being a good teacher. Yes, option B is correct. Because Mrs. Pratap, being a good teacher, has been. She is unnecessary there. Here, the she. Who is this she? It is Mrs. Pratap. So Mrs. Pratap, being a good teacher, has been selected. That means Mrs. Pratap has been selected for the national award. Because Mrs. Pratap is a good teacher, she has been selected for the award. When the same sentence is used as a single or a simple sentence, we can say it as Mrs. Pratap being a good teacher, because of being a good teacher. Then we have to ensure that members fulfill the requirements. We have to ensure. Yes, we have to ensure. That's correct. Vivek Chauhan, Kishore, Niba Babu have said it correctly. It is ensure, not insure. Insurance and insurance are different. Ensure means to make sure. Ensure. Here it is insure. Insure means it is a technical thing. To make surety, safety. Insure means to make offer or make surety. Ensure means to make sure. Now, no sooner did the teacher enter the class when the student stood up. This is a purely grammatical sentence. When the student stood up. Yes. Okay, you have chosen the segment correctly, but can you get it corrected? Okay, almost all of you have. Oh, yes. No sooner than, Kishore said it. No sooner did the teacher enter the class, not when. Instead of when, it is than. Than. No sooner did the teacher enter the class than the students stood up. No sooner than. Then next one, she is confident to win the gold medal this time. She's confident to win the gold medal this time. C. A. Gundabatin Anita. In fact, it is difficult for me to pronounce your name. Sorry. But Anita has said it correctly. Kishore, we have all answered it correctly. Part B is the error part. She is confident of. See, this one, 2 is wrong. It is of. It is of. She is confident of, then not only of, when it is of, you should change verb into ing form. Confident of winning. Confident of winning. Okay. Confident, the adjective should be followed by the preposition of. The actual difference between to and of is, from examples, let me say, see this sentence. See, he came to beat me. Here you can see to. He came. Why did he come? What was his purpose of approaching me? To beat me. So there is an immediate purpose. He came to beat me. That is, secondly, we say to beat. Beat is the immediate purpose of coming to me. That is where to is used. There it is infinitive. Okay. But with this confident, confident is an adjective which should not be followed by the infinitive be. Instead, it is always used with the preposition of, confident of. I am confident of winning this match. I'm confident of standing first in this examination. Confident of. So such adjectives and adverbs are there. Not only adjectives and adverbs, some verbs also are strictly followed by fixed prepositions with which you must get familiar. And you can get a list of such adjectives and adverbs on internet. Adjectives and adverbs which are always invariably used with particular prepositions only. Okay, this is not actually grammatical. This is conventional or traditional. English people use them traditionally with the preposition of. That's why we should also conform to them. Then all doubts are cleared between you and I. This is a very simple question. Very simple question. See, yes, almost all of Srini Ranganayaki says between you and me. You and me. Yes, Bharat Kumar has also said it correctly. Almost all of you have correctly said it. You and me. Good. Vivek Chauhan says us, and Anita also says us. And on what grounds have you said it us? Can you clarify it? So when there is a between, the preposition with which we began with this set of questions, when we have two entities and we want to point to a place between these two things, the preposition is invariably between. Here you have this you and I. Two identities are there. So the position between is correct. So all doubts are cleared between you and I. You and I. Two nouns are clearly specified. Therefore, we cannot vaguely say it is us. When you say us, it is vague. Us means maybe you, I, he, she, all of them together can be vaguely said as us. Here, it is not vaguely said. It is very clearly, undoubtedly, uncategorically mentioned. You and me. That's the character. Did you get me? Did you get me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, of the billions of stars in the galaxy, how much are suitable for life? Yes, you're already with answer. All of you have jumped into answer. All of you are right. Yes, of the millions of stars in the galaxy, how many are? Very good. Now, Americans are accustomed to drinking coffee with their meals. Americans are accustomed to which part? Americans are accustomed to Vivek Chauhan, you have gone wrong. Adhik Abhyasa be much for non-countable. Saurabh Mishra says Americans are accustomed to drinking coffee with their meals. Much for non-countable. Saurabh Mishra means what? Adhik Abhyasa says it is drink. Aditya Kumar says it's C. Bharat Kumar says C. Screen lost. No, screen is there. It is still visible. Have you lost the screen?
Yes, sir. The screen is not seeing the small size.
Size. Other screen on full account.
Side is small. Slide is very small.
Okay, we are trying. Just wait.
Yes, sir.
Just wait, please. അതാണ് അവർക്ക് കിട്ടുന്നത്. ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ അതല്ല, ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ എടുത്തോളൂ. ഓക്കെ, അവിടെ എത്തിയില്ല മുമ്പ്. ഇതന്നെയാണ്.
ఏమిటబ్బా
വേറെ ആരോ പിൻ ചെയ്തല്ലേ? ഞാൻ ഇതെടുത്ത് വെച്ചിരിക്കുന്നു. അതിന്റെ ഫസ്റ്റ് പേജാണ് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഇതല്ല, ഇവിടെ എത്തിയില്ല. യെസ്. Okay, now okay. Okay, let us be back to the question. Americans are accustomed to drinking coffee with their meals. See the sound underlined here, their meals. In fact, when we mention a routine food like meals, breakfast, dinner, lunch, we don't, can't you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Now, okay. See, when we mention the routine food like breakfast or lunch or dinner or supper, we don't use their, my. I don't take my meal. I take only meal. You cannot say, I have had my breakfast. That is wrong. I have had breakfast. Okay, that is the error here. And with other parts, Americans are accustomed to drinking coffee. Somebody has mentioned that drinking is wrong and it should be corrected as drink. No, here drinking is correct because the preposition used here is to. You should understand that to has dual function. Dual function means to is sometimes used as preposition and at other times used as infinitive. When it is used as infinitive, drinking is wrong. Then you should say to drink. But when it is used as a preposition, it should follow prepositional rule. What is the prepositional rule? A preposition should be followed by the ing form of the verb. Any preposition, in, on, at, with, up, down, away, over, under, into, with all such prepositions, the preposition should be followed by the ing form of the verb. If it happens to be an ing, actually a prepositional rule is that a preposition should be followed by a noun. Preposition plus noun is the rule. Preposition plus noun is the rule. So when a verb comes after the preposition, the ing form, namely the emergency noun form of the verb, should be used. That is the unbreakable rule of a preposition. Which are the prepositions? You are familiar with prepositions: in, at, on, into, to, from, up, down, with, away. All are prepositions. So with all these prepositions, you should use a noun. In place of the noun, if a verb comes, you should change the verb into its ing form. That is the rule. So that is where the problem arises, because to has dual function. Sometimes to is used as the infinitive as well. In this particular case, in this question, Americans are accustomed to. It is preposition. Therefore, drinking is correct. Then you would ask me, where can we use to as infinitive? Let me write an example here. See the sentence. She began to sing. She began to sing. Here you can see began to sing. Here the to is infinitive. She began to sing. Because the purpose of beginning is singing and it is immediately done. Therefore, it is infinitive. Okay, wait just a minute. Just wait. Here there's a technical issue. Just a minute. Charger. ഇപ്പൊ ബോർഡ് കിട്ടുന്നില്ല എന്ന് പറയും. ബോർഡ് ബോർഡ്
No visual.
No visual. We are looking into that. Okay, please wait. We are dealing with that. See the problem. It is extensively raining everywhere in Kerala. No, maybe that is the reason. All sorts of technical problems. Anyhow, it will be dealt with very soon. സ്ക്രീനിന്റെ കാര്യം എന്ന് പറയും. കിട്ടുന്നില്ല. സ്ക്രീൻ കിട്ടുന്നില്ല. ഇവിടെ ഇപ്പൊ എനിക്കും ഒക്കെയാണ്. നെറ്റ് പോകുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇടയ്ക്ക് നെറ്റ് കട്ടാവുന്നെന്നാ തോന്നുന്നത്. Tomorrow, Bsnl holiday. Please take 3 hours like Sunday. Okay, sure. Am I audible? Is there any problem with?
Yes, sir, it's audible.
Audible.
Okay.
Audible.
Oh.
Yeah, now screen getting.
Right now, screen is coming, sir.
Okay, we are troubleshooting it. Possibly it is the extensive rain.
Right now,
It's visible. Okay.
Bsnl fiber.
Okay. See. Okay. Right now, the screen is visible and my voice is also audible. I'm hoping that
Yes,
let
yes,
us be back to the
okay,
question.
sir. Everything okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Good.
So again, we are back to the question. Americans are accustomed to drinking coffee. I have explained it clearly. That is nothing but to has dual function. Dual function means it is used both as preposition and as infinitive. When we use it as infinitive, it is always followed by the infinitive form of the verb. For instance, the sentence that I have written on the screen, she began to sing. She began to sing. What is the purpose of beginning is to sing. That is immediate purpose. Therefore, it is infinitive. But when we mention a long drawn purpose or goal, to is used to mention a goal. For instance, we say, I am going to Delhi. To Delhi. Delhi is a noun. To is preposition. Delhi is my destination. So to, the preposition is used to mention a destination, whereas to, the infinitive is used to mention a purpose of action. Okay. To, when used as infinitive, suggests the purpose of action. For instance, she began to sing. In another case, Americans are accustomed to drinking coffee. That mentions a noun. Drinking is noun. Okay, it is not the purpose of action. They are accustomed. Okay. I want to kill him or killing. I want to kill him is correct because the purpose of you wanting is kill. So it is purpose, not the destination. Killing is not a destination. Do you get me? Killing is not a destination. It is your purpose. Therefore, you can say, I want to kill him. Though you have no right to kill somebody, here the sentence is correct. I want to kill him. Do you get me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I wonder, why are you tinkering with the wire? You might get a shock. See, this is a very good, interesting, intriguing question. Please give me the answer. I wonder, is there any error with I wonder? No. Why are you tinkering with the wire? That means to play with wire. You might get a shock. Do you have answer? I wonder why RU is wrong. Yes, B is correct. Shamim and Meher has answered correctly. B. Saurabh Mishra, you have said it correctly. Ramesh. Okay, then it should be rearranged. The words must be rearranged as, I wonder why you are tinkering with the wire. Why you are. Yes, Bharat Kumar said it correctly. Next, once an old hermit saw a cat pounce upon a rat. Once an old hermit. Is there anything wrong with this part? No. Saw a cat. Is there anything wrong with that part? Saw a cat? No. Pounce upon a cat? Pounce upon? Kishore says C is wrong grammatically. And what could be wrong with pounce upon? Pounce upon a rat is wrong. And can you get it corrected if it is wrong at all? Meher says it is D. That means no error. Saurabh Mishra says C contains mistake. Yes, that's right. Kishore says correctly, once a hermit, an old hermit saw a cat pouncing upon a rat. That is correct. Pouncing upon. Then 2 lakhs of people attended the meeting held in parade grounds. 2 lakhs of people attended the meeting held in parade grounds. What could be wrong? Yes. Deepak John says grounds is wrong. Can you say it correctly? Adik Abhyasa, held at is correct. To hold a meeting. Here, held at is wrong. Held on the ground or in the ground. No, it is in parade ground is correct, not at parade ground. Meeting can only be held in the ground. At the ground means near the ground. In fact, where do we hold the meeting? In the ground itself, not near the ground. Bharat Kumar says it is in a parade ground. No, actually grounds is wrong. Deepak John says grounds is wrong, but he doesn't know the correct answer. The correct answer is ground, not grounds. So the plural is wrong. Here, the plural is wrong. It is ground. And you know the difference between ground and grounds? Anybody knows? Srini says many grounds. No. Some noun, listen to me well. It's a grammatical area. You must pay attention to it much because you can expect many questions from this area. Let me explain the difference between singular and plural. In many cases, they have grammatical significance. For instance, see, let me write the noun time, then water, then work, then copper, then spectacle, let us see the noun forms. Time. Do we ever say times to mention plural? Can you change time into plural just by adding s and say times? Is it correct? No, because it is uncountable. We don't say times. But see, sometimes times is used, but with different meaning. Similarly, water is uncountable. As in the case with all uncountable nouns, water cannot be, in the normal course of things, changed into plural. But sometimes it can be changed into plural as waters, but with a different meaning. Singular and plural have different meanings. Work is a very common noun which cannot be used in plural. We don't say works. But at sometimes, works can be used, but with different meaning. Copper, coppers, spectacle, specters, spectacles, glass, glasses, paper, papers. Then damage. See, damage, you know. Do we ever say damages? No. Damage never permits damages. It is always used in plural. But these nouns, see, the nouns I have written here, all have a common feature. What is that? In the normal course of things, these nouns being uncountable cannot be used in plural. But if they happen to be at all used in plural, they take different meaning. For instance, time. you know the meaning of time. But when you say times, times means news. That is how the Times of India means the news of India. Hindustan Times means Hindustan news. It is not the repetition of time. Then water. Water in the normal course of things, plural is wrong. Waters. I drink waters is wrong. I drink water. But when you say waters, that has a different meaning. And that meaning is the Atlantic waters, the Indian waters. That means water body, sea, ocean, and such water bodies. Okay, then work. What does work mean? I have a lot of work to do. That is correct. I have a lot of work to do. But if you happen to say works, that means literary works. Works of William Shakespeare. That means creations of William Shakespeare. Or it has got another meaning as well. And what is that? When you say works, this Hindustan tile works means workplace or factory. When you say works, that means factory or workplace. Then we have copper. Copper is normally not used in plural. But if you happen to say it as coppers, that means coins. So there are a few coppers in the drawer, means there are a few coins in the drawer. Then spectacle. What does spectacle mean? Anybody knows the meaning of spectacle, please? Text fast. Eye mirror. What do you mean? No, it is no, not eyeglasses. Spectacle means wonderful sight, wonderful view, or wonderful sight. But when you say spectacles, that means eyeglasses. Then you are correct, Anita. Eyeglasses. When you say that in plural, it is eyeglasses. Okay, glass damage. What does damage mean? Damage. Maybe collapse or impairment. Okay, that's right. But what does damages mean? Anybody knows? Damages. Damages means compensation. Compensation. So what we've been discussing is many nouns in the English language cannot be used in plural normally, generally. At the same time, if such nouns are used in plural, only a few, the nouns such as I have written on the screen, if they are used in plural, they take different meaning. What about grounds here? Regarding the question here, 2 lakhs of people attended the meeting held in parade grounds. Grounds means reason. It is not the playing ground or the meeting ground. Grounds means reason. On what grounds? On what reason? What are your grounds? What are your reasons? Okay, that's how grounds becomes wrong here. Now let's go to the next question. No sooner she had realized her blunder than she began to take corrective measures. So this is a regular grammatical question. Proper grammatical question. There is a regular or proper grammatical error in this area. Kishore says A contains mistake. No sooner she had realized. Shamim says it is A. She realized. Pravaliga says no. It is Had she? Kishore says had she? Had she? Okay, I think Kishore and Shamim have a few sense of grammar. A little sense of grammar is there. Then Sharon says no sooner should be followed by than. That is correct. It is actually what? A is correct. The choice is correct. No sooner she had should be rearranged and written as had she. Kishore has, Shamim has said it correctly. Had she, no sooner had she, because no sooner is always followed by the subject. Now, see this. No sooner is always followed by than. Then see, hardly is followed by when. Then scarcely. When. Similarly, barely. These are conjunctions. These are conjunctions. No sooner should be followed by than. Hardly should be followed by when. Scarcely should be followed by when. Barely should be followed by when. Let us rearrange this sentence in with a different conjunctions like this. Instead of no sooner, I say, hardly had she realized her blunder when she began to take corrective measures. Or scarcely had she realized her blunder when she began to take corrective measures. Or barely had she realized her blunder when she began to take corrective measures. No sooner had she realized her blunder than she began to take corrective measures. So these four structural conjunctions are to be noted specifically. See, it is no sooner is always followed by the subject, not sooner she. Instead of subject, it is always the auxiliary verb, had she. She had becomes had she in the reverse order. Then Srini Ranganagi has asked a question, sir. No sooner followed by, no sooner should be followed by the auxiliary verb. Okay. No sooner followed by auxiliary verb. No sooner. Auxiliary verb, subject, main verb, then than. This is the structure. No sooner had she realized her blunder than. In the case of hardly or barely or scarcely, the same structure follows. Next, the GM of the company dispensed the manager's services. Anybody knows the answer? the GM of the company dispensed the manager's services. Option B, Srini says it is B. Kishore says it's B. Your choice is correct. Your choice is correct. The no need. No. Yes, Kishore says it. Kishore says it. It is dispensed with. Dispense alone doesn't make any sense. Dispense should be followed by the preposition with. Dispensed with. Dispensed with the manager's service. Dispense with means avoid or declare unwanted. Dispense with means, yes, declare unwanted or avoid. Now, next question is, Kabir is telling that I have stolen his pen. Anybody knows? Kabir is telling that I have stolen his pen. Option B, that I have. He have. Oh my goodness, Pravalika, he have is a big mistake because he is a singular noun and it should be followed by the singular verb has. Okay, that's a big mistake. Don't ever make it. Aditya Kumar says what? He is the correct answer. Kabir is telling that I have stolen his pen, and we cannot change the idea. He is accusing that I have stolen his pen. That is his accusation. Not telling me. Kabir tells. Kabir is not telling. Kabir tells that. Tells is enough. Tells is enough. Kabir tells that I have stolen his pen. In such delicate matters, we often go with his advice as he has been handling such cases effectively. Yes, Pravalika has answered it correctly. It is in the reported form, in direct speech. In such delicate matters, we often go with his advice as he has been handling such cases effectively. Anybody knows the answer? See, many of you remain silent listeners only. Don't respond, don't react. In indirect speech, see, he handled. The choice is, in such delicate matters, we often go with is wrong. First, A. A is wrong. A is wrong. We often go with is wrong. What does go with mean? You know, go with? Go with, what does that mean? Go with? Go with is a phrasal verb. You must have heard of phrasal verbs. Have you heard of phrasal verbs? Go and with is a preposition, go is a verb. So this is particular, a very tough question. Okay, let me explain. After explanation, you will realize. Okay, when a verb is followed by a particular preposition, I stress it is particular preposition, not a general preposition as we feel or like. Instead, certain verbs, when they go with particular preposition, take different meanings. For instance, go itself is a verb. And you know the meaning of go. It's a common verb, go. For instance, I go to market, she goes to market, they are going to market. So go is a regular verb and everybody is familiar. But when the same go goes with prepositions, particular prepositions, they take different meaning. It is not the meaning of go. Instead, go with, for instance, example, means match. Go with means match. Means to be suitable. Match. Go with means match. Match. To be suitable. To be suitable. To be suitable. That is go with. Here, therefore, go with is wrong. Here it means in such delicate matters, we often go by. It should be changed as go by. The preposition is by. What does go by mean? Follow or obey. And at this moment, let me give you the list of phrasal verbs of go. Okay, let me write here. I mean, the preposition go goes with different prepositions. You may take down go by, go with, go on, go through, go off, go up, go down. Okay, let us examine the meanings of these phrasal verbs. Before we discuss these phrasal verbs, let me give you a briefing about phrasal verbs. As you have seen here, go is a verb. It can go with different prepositions, giving different meanings. Go in the normal course of things has a regular meaning. Regular meaning means she goes to school, children go to school or market, go, regular meaning. But when they are followed by particular prepositions, such verbs become phrasal verbs. Because when we have two or more words which give us a functional meaning, we call that phrase. So go by has a functional meaning. Go with has a functional meaning. Go on has a functional meaning. Go through has a functional meaning. Go off has a functional meaning. Go up, go down, they all have functional meanings. Why do I say they have functional meanings? They have meaning only when such verbs are used with preposition only. Together, when they are used together, they lose their individual meaning. Go loses its individual meaning. By also loses its individual meaning. In place of that, they synthetically make a different meaning. Not the meaning of either go or by. They synthetically, that means they together make a meaning. That means they make a synthetic meaning only. Not the meaning of go, not the meaning of by. Instead, they together synthetically make a different, unguessable meaning. For instance, go by here means follow or obey. Go with means match or to be suitable. Go on means, this is common. Go on means to continue. Go through means suffer. Suffer, S-U-F-F-E-R, suffer. Then go off. Go off means explode. Explode. Then go up. Go up means increase. increase. Go down means decrease or fall. So this is what we call phrasal verbs. For the time being, I have given commonly used phrasal verbs formed with go. Got me? Got me?
Okay.
Got me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now let us go to the next question. He was too tired that he could not cross the street even with the help of a supporter. Yes, Advik said it correctly. He was so tired. Too tired is wrong. He was so tired that. So tired that. That is correct. So tired that. So instead of to, it is so. So tired that he could not. So tired that. Then the GM of the company. My desire to meet the president without prior appointment. President, my desire to meet the president without prior appointment. Why so tired? Please explain. Okay, let me explain that. Saurabh Mishra has asked for an explanation about the previous question. So tired. Okay, Saurabh Mishra and others, listen to me. So. Okay, this is the structure. So plus adjective. So plus adjective. Okay, we will come to the next question later after explaining this. Mr. Mishra has asked for an explanation. So plus adjective plus that. And what does that conjunction mean? I shall explain that with other examples. I am so tired that I cannot walk. That means I am very tired, therefore I cannot walk. Or she's so hungry that she cannot speak. She is so hungry that she cannot speak. That means she is very hungry, therefore she cannot speak. So when we combine such sentences together to mention the intensity of adjective here means very tired. Very is an intensifier. Tired itself is an adjective, but when you say very tired, means that shows the intensity of your tiredness. So in order to avoid such intensity like very and much in the sentence, when we combine two such sentences together, in place of very or much or extremely and other intensifiers, we use so. And after the adjective, it is always that. And thus you can combine the sentences into a complex sentence. For example, the winter in Europe. The winter in Europe is so hard. That means very hard. So the winter in Europe is very hard. You cannot live there normally. You can say that in one sentence. The winter in Europe is so hard that you cannot live there normally. Do you get me, Saurabh? So that to should be used, isn't it, sir? Yes. But in place of so that, you can use to also. For instance, the coffee is very hot. I cannot drink it. This coffee is so hot that I cannot drink it. Using so that. The coffee is too hot for me to drink. That is too. Both mean the same. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to the next question. My desire to meet the president without prior appointment. So Aditya Kumar has said segment first is wrong. That is correct. And how can you get it corrected? Part A is wrong. Your choice is correct, but can you get it corrected?
Ambition.
In fact, it is very simple. My desire should be replaced with my desire is wrong. Instead, you should say I desire. I desire means I want. I want to meet the president without prior appointment. That is correct. Okay. Then when we visited his office, we found that he was sipping coffee with some of his colleagues. When we visited his office, we found that he was sipping coffee with some of his colleagues. Which part contains mistake? Srini says it is D. That means the sentence contains no error at all. See, it is a risky thing to say that the sentence contains no error. It is riskier than to say that this contains mistake. But fortunately, you have said it correctly here. This sentence contains no mistake. Congrats. Just 1 minute break. 1 minute, hardly 1 minute. Okay, let us be back to the questions again. Okay, let us go to the next question. The fight for liberation brings out the best and noblest quality in mankind. The fight for liberation brings out the best and the noblest quality in mankind. Anybody has answer?
E.
Please try to text. Okay, Vivek Chauhan says it is C. Advik says C. Binoop says C. Srini Ranganayagi and A. What do you mean? And A. Meher Venkatesh C. The noblest Advik Shamim C. Okay, brings out the best, and up to that point, the sentence is absolutely correct. C is the choice. I mean, the error part is C. What is wrong? C brings out the best. The best. And the best, and here A is unnecessary. The best and noblest quality in mankind. The noblest would be another mistake, because these two qualities, noble, noblest, best, these are two qualities, but these two qualities are attributed to the same noun, quality, best quality, noblest quality. So these two epithets or qualifications go with the single noun quality. Therefore, the best and noblest quality in mankind. I shall cite another example here. See the sentence. The manager and secretary is on leave. Here, there is only one definite article used with the manager and secretary, because here both the manager and the secretary are one person. This person acts as manager and secretary together. He is secretary and manager. Therefore, Article D is enough for both manager and secretary. So the manager and secretary is on leave. So that is what goes in this sentence also. The fight for liberation brings out the best and noblest quality in mankind. The Q problem. ഇനിയുണ്ട് ഇതല്ലോ. The maid servant behavior is undoubtedly indecent, but I don't understand how he tolerates it. Yes, welcome. Your answers. Vivek Chauhan says A, Renish says A, and Srini says A. Okay. Binok says A. Okay, all of you have answered correctly, but can any one of you get it corrected? Saurabh Mishra said it correctly. Srini, no, Srini, your answer is wrong. Maid servant, maid or servant, same thing. Maid servant is a single person. Maid servant, a girl servant. That's all. Maid. Binu says maid itself is enough. Behaves is wrong. Saurabh Mishra said maid, no. Maid servants, yes, you said it. Binu Devasikuti has said it correctly. Maid servants, the maid servant's behavior means the behavior of his maid servant. So his maid servant's behavior, apostrophe S. Maid servants, apostrophe S. Maid servant's behavior is undoubtedly, so the behavior of his maid servant is undoubtedly indecent. Then the issues are very complex, and the problem is that they are bound to be obscured by these hypocritical politicians. The issues are very complex. It is very simple. By these hypocritical politicians. Srini says it is hypocritical politicians. It's a very simple question. The issues are very complex, and the problem is that they are bound to be obscured. Somebody says it is A. Yes, that is right. Vivek Chauhan has said it correctly, but can you correct yourself? Can you yourself correct it? These issues, no. Complex, no. Bharat Kumar says where? No, we need to change the tense. Let us leave the tense. The issue, there's a good says the issue singular is enough, but here the verb is are, so the issue is not enough. Issues is correct, but the problem is very simple. Here the issues are very complicated, not complex. Complex is wrong. What do we say? Complicated. Okay, the answer is complicated. Complex is wrong. Okay, the issues are very complicated. When it is difficult to solve a problem, we say it as complicated. We don't say it as complex. When do we use complex? We say a building complex, an office complex. When a machine is very difficult to understand, repair, and we say that a complex theory or complex machine. Okay, when we refer to something that is not easy to understand, we say complicated. Complicated means not easy to understand or tough to understand. But these politicians correct say, yeah, by these politicians correct, hypocritical politicians correct, no problem. Next, now I have come to know why he always remains at loggerheads with his wife and mother-in-law. If you're familiar, or if you have come across this usage, you could easily find the error part. No idea? See, Shamim says it is C, that is logger's head with his wife and mother-in-law. That is correct. What is wrong with it? C is correct. Shamim's answer is correct. Would be to know that need. It is Shamim. Yes. Somebody has said it correctly. That is Kishore case is loggerheads. It is not logger's head. It is loggerheads. That is correct. Loggerheads. The S here in this S should go to this place, and thus it becomes loggerheads. Loggerheads means to be in quarrel. To be in quarrel, always in quarrel with. Between you and I, he probably won't come at all. Between you and I, he probably won't come at all. Between you and me, very good. Srini, Advik, good. Between you and me, it is not I. Good. Then the officer as well as the assistants absented themselves from the office. This is a regular question. In almost all competitive examinations, I have often seen this kind of questions. See, the officer as well as the assistants absented themselves from the office. See, themselves from the office. No. Yes, Bharat Kumar has mentioned it correctly. The officer as well as the assistants. Sorry, C is the answer, not B. C is the correct answer. Mention of B is correct. C. Absconded. No, Vinod Dev is good. That's a hilarious thing. It is not absconded. It is absented. To be absent from, that is correct. But but the grammatical problem here is, listen to me well, then only you will clearly understand it. The officer as well as the assistants. See that. The officer as well as the assistants. Here you have seen the conjunction as well as. What does as well as mean? Does it mean and? Does it mean and? Does it mean and? The officer and the assistants. Is it correct? No, it is not. It is not and. Then what is it? The officer as well as the assistants, in fact, means the officer like the assistant. It is actually like not and. So and is wrong. It is not and. It is like. The officer like the assistants. Then who is the actual subject here? The officer or the assistants? Who is the actual subject here? The officer or the assistants? Tell me. The officer, because the officer is only compared to assistants. The officer is the actual subject. The assistants have the sound is yes used only to compare with the officer. So the actual subject is officer, that is singular. Therefore, themselves, see, themselves should be himself. Yes, Advik Abhyasa, himself, the officer as well as the assistants absented himself. Yes, correct. Then the statesman. The statesman has the largest circulation of all English details. In fact, there is a typing problem. It is daily. It is dailies. So details must be replaced with the dailies. It is a typing problem. The statesman. What is this statesman? What do you mean by this statesman? Statesman is a newspaper. The statesman has the larger circulation. Yes, Shamim and Kishore have answered correctly, has the largest circulation because that is the superlative degree. Of all other dailies, the statesman has the largest circulation. That is superlative degree. I always enjoy to read books. B. B means this, to read. Yes, Birun Devasi Kuti has correctly answered. It is, I enjoy reading. Yes, Advik Abhyasa, it is reading, B. Almost all of you have answered correctly. I always enjoy reading books. Then somebody has mentioned it wrongly, the books. No need of the books, simply the books. Sorry, books only, not the books. Okay, I always enjoy reading the books. Next, the captain along with his team has been invited to the function. Okay, that's also an intriguing question. The captain along with his team has been invited to the function. So Meher, Kishore have answered that B is wrong. It should be have been, they say, have been. Okay, let us see. Okay, again, I have a question. As well as in a previous question, we said as well as only compares. The noun used before here, the subject used here. See, the subject used here is to be considered for its number. The subject as well as, then after that as well as there is another subject, which is always followed by the verb. That means this verb, the verb at the beginning is to be considered for the number of the verb. So has is correct. Advik Abhyasa, you said it correctly. Has is correct. Similarly, the captain along with his team has been is correct. Invited to the function, that is also correct. In fact, this sentence contains no mistake. No error. Because you see, let us consider such other conjunctions along with. Then we have with. Then we have except. In addition to. Then we have besides. Team members captain is also in team. See, the captain along with his team. In this case, who is the actual subject? Who is the actual subject? It is the captain. Along with his team means it is not the actual subject. Captain is the actual subject, that is singular. Therefore, the captain along with his team has been invited to the function is, has to agree with first subject. Yes. So as Kishore has asked, see the conjunctions that I have written here, as well as along with, except, in addition to, besides. These conjunctions, when you use these conjunctions, you should always consider the first subject. First subject means here, as I have written here, the first subject, not the second subject here. Okay. When using these conjunctions means as well as, along with, except, in addition to, besides. You always consider the number of the first subject. If the first subject is singular, the verb should be singular. If the first subject is plural, the verb should be plural. This is very strict in the English language. You see, this is called agreement between subject and verb, or concord. In different grammar books, differently mentioned with the different words. Anyhow, this is an agreement. This agreement is purely grammatical as well. That means a singular subject should be followed by a singular verb, and a plural subject should be followed by a plural verb. There should never be a cross matching between singular and plural. In using these conjunctions here that you can see on the screen, which are they? As well as, along with, except, in addition to, besides. These are commonly used such conjunctions. When using these conjunctions, always consider the first subject and its number, and the number should be according to the number of the subject used first. If it happens to be singular, singular verb. If it happens to be plural, plural verb. That's all. See, as soon as I reach my office, I will mail you the files. This is an interesting, funny question. Grammatical as well. There's a lot of fun with this question. As soon as I reach my office, I will mail you the files. Which part could be wrong? Adik says it is reached. Gulam Halim says it is B. Reached my office. From the same part. Anita says it is B. Okay. Unfortunately, Pravalika Mambali says it is C. Yes, C is the correct answer. No need I. There is a need. I should be there. You cannot avoid I. Then what is wrong with it? That is why I mentioned in the beginning that this is a funny question. And a lot of fun is there. As soon as I reach my office, up to that, sentence is absolutely okay. But from there means I will mail you the files. I will mail you means what? Let me write like this. Will you permit somebody to send you? I will mail you means I will send you. Will you permit somebody to pack you up and send somewhere? The sentence says what? Okay, then you will permit somebody to mail the files to you. All this comes because of WhatsApp chatting. So in WhatsApp chatting, all these kinds of grammatical errors usually happen, but they are not to be taken for good. See, I will send the files to you. When you say I will send you, means I will pack you up and send somewhere. You won't permit somebody to send you, okay, by post. Then you will have to suffer a lot. So here, part C should be corrected or restructured as I will send the files by mail, or I will mail the files to you. I will mail the files to you. Yes, glimpses to the religious side of his nature appear in the majority of his plays. Glimpses to the religious side of his nature appear in the majority of his plays. Yes, part A, Shamim and Bharat Kumar have answered correctly. And can you, yes, glimpses of, not a glimpse of, Saurabh Mishra, it is glimpses of, because the preposition is wrong here. The only wrong thing is to. It should be replaced with of. Glimpses of the religious side. And maybe Saurabh Mishra may be having a doubt. What is wrong with a glimpse of? Why don't you ask me such question, Mishra? A glimpse of is correct, but not here. See, glimpses of the religious side of his nature appear. See here, appear. Appear is plural. Therefore, we cannot change this into singular. You said a glimpse of, that is singular. Then appear won't follow. Then you have to change this also, appears. So we cannot correct two segments. When you correct a glimpses to as a glimpse of, then you will be forced to correct this as well. But if you keep glimpses itself, then there is no need to correct this part. So we can correct only one part. Therefore, it is glimpses of. Okay, good. I got it. In his concluding remarks, he said almost nothing with listening to. In his concluding remarks, he said almost nothing worth listening to. It means glimpses of, not glimpse of, glimpses of. Then only appear will go with it, because that is agreement. So just a few minutes before I said a singular subject should be followed by a singular verb and a plural subject should be followed by a plural verb. That is what it really means. See, again, let's go back. Glimpses is correct. Only changes to should be replaced with of. Then everything will be all right, because glimpses appear. Glimpses appear. Agreement is okay. Okay, glimpses of the religious side of his nature appear. Right. Now, in his concluding remarks, he said almost nothing worth listening to. See, nothing worth listening to. In his concluding remarks, he said almost nothing worth listening to. No need of to. In fact, Adhiga Abhyasa, there is the need of to. You cannot avoid to. Because we say, listen to. Please listen to me. Without to, listen has no meaning. Worth listening to. In fact, this sentence carries no mistake. Yes. Now see, the decline of his moral was caused by a lot of factors that were once fascinating to him. The decline of his moral was caused by a lot of factors that were once fascinating to him. Shamim says A is the erroneous part. The decline of his moral. No, that contains no mistake at all. B was caused by a lot of factors that were was caused by in his moral decline in his moral. No, that is again wrong. Ranesh says it's lots of factors. Simply lots of factors. Yes, Kishore has said it correctly. See, the decline of his moral was caused by a lot of factors that were, so they're all correct. Factors that were once fascinating for him, not to him. Fascinating for me, fascinating for you, fascinating for him. Okay. Then the plan was to go for the cinema, but owing to certain hindrances, it failed. The plan was to go for the cinema. The cinema, but owing to certain hindrances, it failed. A, the plan was to go for the cinema. Srini says B. No, it is actually the error. No, it has failed is wrong, because you see, let me first of all correct that. Aditya Kumar has said it wrongly. Has failed cannot go there, because it is, see, plan was, that is past. Adhiga Kumar has said it as has failed. Has failed is present. Past and present don't go together in the same sentence. So it failed is correct. Both are past. See here. No. The answer is, okay. Audio is okay. Now the plan was to go for the cinema is wrong. Go to the cinematic abhyasa. I have said it correctly. Go to the cinema. to the cinema. The cinema is a place where films are okay. There is some technical problem because my pen doesn't work. Let me just forward it. Okay, the plan was to go for the cinema is wrong. It is go to the cinema. The cinema is a place where people go to watch film. The cinema is a house, cinema house. The movie. People go to watch the movie in the cinema. The cinema is a place. Therefore, we go to the cinema. Go for a film. You can say go for a film. Okay. There's a problem with my pen. It doesn't work. Just 1 minute. Let me get it corrected. Okay. ശരിയല്ലേ? ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് ഇങ്ങനെ ആവുന്നുണ്ട് കേട്ടോ. പിന്നെ അത്യാവശ്യത്തിന് എഴുതാൻ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ
ഇത് ലാസ്റ്റ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ സാറ്
ഏതാണ്
ലാസ്റ്റ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ അല്ലേ?
ഇതന്നെ കഴിഞ്ഞ അടുത്തത്
ഗ്ലിംസസ് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് അടുത്ത ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ.
ഓക്കെ. ഡിക്ലൈൻ ആണ്.
ഡിക്ലൈൻ അല്ല നമ്മൾ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ എടുക്കുന്നത്.
അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടല്ലേ
കൺക്ലൂഡിംഗ് റിമാർക്സ്.
ഓക്കെ. അന്നേരം തിരിച്ചു കൊടുക്കാം. അന്നേരം തിരിച്ചു അല്ലേ? അന്നേരം ഇന്നേരം Okay, the plan was to go for the cinema that we finished, and the decline of his moral was caused by a lot of factors. That's over. Now the plan was to go for two of my intimate. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
For a few seconds, my pen just refused to function. Yes. Then two of my intimate friends called on me on yesterday when I was away from home. Can you fix the error? B. On yesterday when I was. Okay, your choice is correct. Adhik Abhyasa, your choice is correct. B. Yesterday. And Prabalika Mampali says yesterday itself, yesterday is not needed. Do you mean that? Yesterday is enough. Then what is to be avoided? On. Good. That's right. So the answer is this on is not needed. Yesterday is enough, on is to be avoided. Yeah, right. Unless you don't obey your elders, you will not succeed in your life. Yes, unless you don't obey is correct. Your choice is correct unless you don't obey. How can you get it corrected? Yes, you have answered correctly, but at least you should know unless you obey. Yes, that's good. Because unless and don't mean the same. Don't is a repetition. Unless and don't together make a positive sense. Okay, don't is not needed. So unless you obey is the answer. Unless you obey. Unless you obey. Next, it's not possible for me to give you the accurate date of my departure yet. It's not possible for me to give you the accurate date of my departure yet. So your choice is C of my departure. Yes, your choice is correct. C is the correct answer. Departure yet is not needed. It's not possible for me to give you the accurate date of my departure. Why should we use an unnecessary yet? So this yet is not needed here. See, yet is not needed here. See, my pen doesn't function properly. The trek is difficult, but it is far worth the endeavor. The trek is difficult. It's a funny question. The trek is difficult, but it is far worth the endeavor. What is wrong? Which part is wrong? Trek. Trekking, yes. It is not trek. Trek is a vehicle. Trekking is a hazardous journey. Okay. So trekking is difficult. Trek is only a vehicle. It is not difficult. But when you go on a trekking, that can be difficult. Himalayan trekking can be difficult. So trekking is the answer. Then it is best to be silent than speak in anger. Yea. Bharat Kumar says it is yea. That's correct. And Bharat, it is better to be silent. Very good. It is better, not best. It is better. Should be avoided as better. Then I was surprised when the host smiled as if she saw me before. I was surprised when the host smiled as if she saw me before. C. Yes, your choice is correct. C is the wrong part. And what could be wrong with it? As if she saw me before. No. Yes, Kishore says this, as if she had seen me before. As if she had seen me before. This saw should be replaced with had seen, because when you take the tense sense of the whole sentence, the sentence begins with I was surprised. I was surprised is simple past. Simple past. I was surprised. When the hostess smiled, and that again is simple past. That again is simple past. I was surprised when the hostess smiled. Both are simple past. But something that happened before another past action should be mentioned in the past perfect. I shall remind you of the sentence that I myself presented in the very beginning of this class. Before the doctor arrived, the patient had died. In that sentence, before the doctor arrived, that clearly suggests the doctor came only after the death of the patient. So when we mention or compare such two past actions with priority of occurrence, the first occurred action, the first happened action should be mentioned in the past perfect, and the second occurred action should be mentioned in the simple past. Only when you compare in priority order of happening. So here from the sentence itself, it is clear. I was surprised is simple present. When the hostess smiled, simple present. That means as if, like, as if means like, as if she had seen me before. That means that could have happened even before that. So this here, it is had been. Okay. The burglar stole all the money in the house, but surprisingly missed the jewelry in the locker. The burglar stole all the money, surprisingly missed the jewelry in the locker. D, no error. Ranganayaki is bold enough to say it, the sentence is free from error, but I'm afraid not. The burglar stole all the money. Ghulam Halim says that there lies the error. Be from the house, in the house, money in the house is all right, no error. Had stolen, no. What is the need for taking past perfect? No. The burglar stole all the money in the house, but surprisingly missed the jewelry in the house. This is a funny question. So let me remind you of that. This is a funny question. There is, no, it's a funny question. It's a funny question. I repeatedly say it's a funny question. Yes, jewelry is wrong. What is wrong with jewelry? Adi has said it correctly. Jewelry is wrong. Then what is wrong with it? Jewels, not jewelry. Jewelry is a shop. Shop cannot be stolen. Only jewels can be stolen. Okay, chain, ring, ornaments are jewels. Jewels means ornaments. Jewelry means it's a place where these jewels are kept for sale. Okay, so the answer is this one. Should be jewels. Then my father, though old, goes everywhere by foot. This is also a very simple question. My father, though old, goes everywhere by foot. You go to office on foot, not by foot. So by foot is wrong. It is on foot. Okay, how do you go to office? I go to office on foot, not by foot. Then, could she cite any precedent in support for her care? Could she cite? Cite means to show. Cite means to show any precedent, previous happening. That is precedent, previous happening in support for her care. Could she cite any precedent in support for her? Yes, of her care. That's good. It is not for. This for is wrong. It is in support of. In support of. In support of is a functional usage. Functional usage. Now, do you think you could lend me a good pair of gloves to wear to the wedding? See, in fact, this sentence contains two mistakes in two parts. One is, you need not answer here. Here you have a pair of gloves to wear. What is wrong in the section C? Not for the wedding, it is at the wedding. Not for the wedding, it is at the wedding. You wear at the wedding. Now, he looked upon me eye to eye for a few moments before he spoke. This is a very common school question. It's a UP school level question. He looked at me. On me is wrong. Should be replaced with this upon is wrong. Looked at. Looked at. This question is repeated. Looked upon me. Just let me take another set of questions. Till then, you please wait just 1 minute. Theory and subsequent examples need, please. And in fact, what do you mean by theory and subsequent examples? Aditya Kumar has asked a question. So theory and subsequent examples need, please. What is the actual requirement? Please tell me. Be frank. Try to connect class tomorrow morning, same time, sir. Tomorrow morning, I cannot say right now for the time being because I have to consult my.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Do you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then, so today's we have concluded all the questions. Today's set of questions has been finished. Now, if you have any doubt or if you want some explanation on a particular question or area, you can ask that. Tomorrow's class we will arrange later. We will, the authority will tell you when the next class will be held. Anyhow, if you want some sort of explanation on some or other part, please be frank.
Sir, actually, the questions you are explaining, but actually we need that. For example, if it is like of preposition and the examples, and by preposition and some more examples, like questions are divided by according to the prepositions, the theory. Then we can easily remember. Somewhat really confusing.
Okay, I can explain that because I have chosen this part, giving more importance to this. There is a reason for that. In the very beginning, I told you, in your examination, if you have checked the previous year question papers, you could have most probably noted that almost all grammatical areas have been covered. But in a single examination, all the areas cannot be covered because that is rather impossible. A maximum of 25 or 30 questions can only be asked. Therefore, all the areas cannot be covered. But if you have examined or checked the previous year's question papers, more than one question paper, then you could have noticed almost all areas are there in the examination. And therefore, this is the same reason I have chosen this spotty error type of question, because this is the only way of covering all the grammatical areas. All the grammatical areas. When we have done with 100 or 200 questions, on this particular area, you will have completely or fully, wholly covered the grammatical areas. Basic grammar is required. I will tell them the grammar theory is also required with questions. Okay, theory. Okay, let us discuss that with Ranjit sir. And but you didn't ask me any doubt about this set of questions. If you want further explanation, please tell me. We have time up to 1:15. So Aditya has said theory and subsequent examples need. Okay, conduct class tomorrow morning same time, sir. Okay, I will discuss. Need time for self-study before 1 month. Okay, then we'll update in Moodle app. Okay, overall plan finish before 1 month exam, sir. Okay, I will discuss with him. The grammar theory is also required with questions. We will consider. So basic grammar class is required. Soft copies. So we will consider all these things. I will discuss with him. And today's remaining time can be used utilized for explanation of grammar. Of course, your suggestions have been taken into account. I will discuss with him seriously. For the time being, let us have the doubts cleared. Some area. Text for reading. All message and replies, text for reading. Only by questions, all students are not capable to make his own concepts. Okay. Only by questions, all students are not capable to make his own concepts. Okay, how to increase vocabulary. Okay, vocabulary we will discuss in another class. So grammar is required. Okay, Saurabh Mishra. Okay, I will discuss with him all these things. You can please share the slides if possible. Okay. Okay, for the time being, if at all you have some sort of doubt regarding this set of questions, please don't hesitate. Please come up with questions. I need doubts from your side. Once again, which part do you want? One more explanation? Satish Kumar. Okay, please once again explain. Okay, that I will try. Infinitive and preposition. Okay. I take it for all. I take it for all. Preposition and infinitive. Let me try to explain preposition and infinitive. You are familiar with prepositions. Means prepositions are, as the term suggests, used before a noun. Before a noun. While discussing to, that is the infinitive to. I said to has dual function. To has dual function. Dual function means to is included both in preposition category and in infinitive category. When it is used as infinitive, for instance, I want to eat something. I want to eat something. Want to eat. To eat. To eat is the purpose of want. I want to eat. That is the immediate purpose. When to is used to mention purpose, it is infinitive.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
It's a time to wind up. Okay, it's 1:10.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm winding up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm winding up. So reminding you of that, the preposition infinite. When to is used as a preposition, it always suggests a destination or noun. To, when used as infinitive, it is purpose. So that is the explanation. I hope that you got my point well. And it is high time we wound up this class today. So till we meet again next time. Thank you. Keep watching this slide once repeatedly. Okay. Bye.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Students, every this class and all the slides will upload in Moodle app. Okay. Then next class will be tomorrow. It's the confirmation will come your Moodle app. Okay.
Okay.
Yesterday's class also will come.
Okay. We are winding up.
Sir, via WhatsApp will get information, sir, or Moodle app only, sir?
Yeah, Moodle app only.
No, via WhatsApp, anything intimation will be there?
Yeah, we will upload the details in Moodle app only. Then you will get
Not in WhatsApp, right?
not in WhatsApp.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Okay. Let me check if WhatsApp group available. We will do